Yeah, that's nice. You've been meaning to do this for a while, so that's
Right.
awesome.
All right, well, we've just been digging in some water troughs. You have a Banks water trough here we put here. And this is our live cam. So people on the live cam, hello. If you want to see what we're doing, some other stuff, you go to our YouTube page, which is, I don't even know, under Lakoski, or I don't even know, what's it under? Lee Tiffany Lakoski, yeah.
I mean, who would have thought?
On YouTube, and people watching on YouTube, if you want to watch, this is a live cam. It goes 24/7, 12 months of the year. You can either go to like the Carbon TV and look at the Crush Cam, Crush Deer Cam,
Yeah.
or you can go to our website, which is just the Crush.tv, and there's a free page on there. Like I said, it's free and it's awesome. It's great for me to be looking to kind of get a hint out like when the rut started. You can see how far along they are in velvet. You can see when they shed. You can see how many fawns are out here. You can see who's the dominant, how they react around each other. So it's great to be able to, fun to watch. And so if you haven't seen it, it's free, totally free. Just log on to Carbon TV, the Crush Cam, or our website. But what we did here is just, as we talked about earlier, it's been so dry. And I think it's winding up like 2012 where we had the worst EHD. So we're really preventing against that. We really haven't had any since we've had the feed. I think, like we always talk about those little 2% things, and that's, can't put gravel in here. And even though it's not necessarily for now, but it will rain eventually, and it will get muddy in here. And even on those years where it's plenty wet, and you think, okay, it's not an EHD year, but still, even on those years that it's not bad, there's still midges that are hatching. You don't want them hatching right at your feeder where all your deer are at. So you don't want this to be mud on those wet years either, and plus they get that hoof rot and all this stuff. You just don't want them standing in water. So normally we just move feeders around, move them out of the spots. Like for this, we can't. We have a camera set up, and it's our live cam, so we just came in. Any of them that are in the spots where we want them, we just put gravel in here like this so they're not standing in mud and stuff like that. And then we just added the water trough here. Like I said, we want to give them every reason to come and stay here. And I'm just going to, in a minute here, I'm going to fog this. See how the flies around this and stuff? We're going to fog all this, get rid of the ticks, flies, gnats, midges, everything else. We'll get to that when we get to it. But we're just trying to get those deer to spend more time right here. So they have water, food, no bugs. Most of the time you'll see them like in the fields right now at night. They lay out there because there's less bugs. So we spray our fields, our food plots that are right close to this, and to on all of our farms, like the fields where we want them to stay in, and give them everything they can. Because you can go right down this hill right here into the creek bottom in there, and it's no water in it anymore. So there's mud in there. So it's a cool place for them to lay, and that's the worst place to lay. So we want to give them some reason to say, hey, let's just sit up here. It's shady right here. It's shady right here. It might not be quite as cool, but if there's no bugs, you got water, food, everything else. And you've seen it. I got pictures of several of them. Our deer are just laying right next to the feeders because we fog and we spray and we keep ticks out of it, and they kind of wait for the food and stuff like that, and it's in the shade of the feeder. So that's our whole thing. You have those little 2% things. We want to keep deer here as many as we can. But the one thing that's the 80% is that feed right there, like we talked about. And for these live cam guys who've been watching forever, people have asked me a ton of times what's in it, and sometimes it's just a base mix, and it's a mix of corn, roasted soybeans, soy oil, in different rations for different times of the year. But it's that pellet that has, and it's not just alfalfa like we talked before. It's a protein pellet. It's basically an EHD vaccine in a natural form that is legal to feed to wild animals. If it was anything that's the FDA list that you can't feed, you can't put any kind of chemicals to wild animals. Everything that's in that is natural and not on the FDA. It's cleared from the FDA that you can feed it to, to animals, cattle, all that kind of stuff, but also to wild animals. But basically, they developed the EHD vaccines and then mimicked it with natural substances, just the same way they did with antibiotics. When you talk about no antibiotics, it's like, it's not that they're not giving them to them anymore. They just made those antibiotics, mimicked them with natural occurring things so that it's not on an FDA list. And that's the same thing that's in this, and we've had tremendous luck with EHD. Basically had none, but it hasn't been terrible over the past year. So
I don't know what to knock on.
Yeah, so no, a year like this, we haven't had a dry year like this ever since I've been here. So it could be one of those terrible years for EHD, and they'll put the true test to that feed. But we're doing everything, not just relying on the feed. We're putting the water out, putting the minerals in the water, We're putting gravel down, a place that could possibly ever get mud. You know, everything we possibly can do for them. So now it's fog. It's the last thing I've got in my arsenal is feed, try to pull them out of those ditches, try to get rid of bugs. Hey, this is the most comfortable place on the farm for them to lay. This is where we want them right here. We can hold them here. We don't have to worry about EHD. So that's the plan. We'll go fog this and keep moving on with that, and I'll show you what we fog with and how we fog, and we'll go from there.
Okay, and I'm out for fog. And I'm out for fog.
See how soon those here. So here will be up.